More than 500 parliamentarians from across the Commonwealth have gathered in Dhaka, Bangladesh, in the first week of November 2017 for the 63rd Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference, under the conference theme of continuing to enhance high standards of performance of parliamentarians. The conference discussion have focused on the importance of development for parliamentarians and, in turn, Parliament's performance as a guarantor of democracy as an independent pillar in the separation of powers.
And ballots haven't been issued. The 21 people haven't turned up to take ballots.
The 63rd Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference takes place ahead of the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, the Commonwealth Summit in London, UK. The outcomes of the conference, as well as a unique parliamentary perspective, will feed directly into the 2018 summit, which is themed towards a common future.
Windy town, elegant, green view too.
Hosted by the CPA President and Chairperson, Honorable Dr. Shirin Shamin Chaudhuri MP, Speaker of the Parliament of Bangladesh. The 63rd Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference is the annual conference of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA. This conference provides an unique platform for inter-parliamentary dialogue to take place, bringing together speakers, members of parliament and parliamentary staff representing the 9 regions of the CPA, 52 countries of the Commonwealth and over 180 national, state, provincial and territorial parliaments and legislatures. Workshops and debates have been held during the conference on a wide range of related topics, including the role of Parliament in addressing the challenges of democracy, the role of trade in building stronger ties within the Commonwealth, climate change in the Commonwealth context, and giving a voice to the youth of the Commonwealth.
Carnival, legendary, eternity, windy.
During the 63rd Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference, in an exclusive interview with the TV television, Shirley M.Osborne, Speaker, House of Montserrat from West Indies, has talked with various types of aspects of the 63rd Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference 2017.
Ballot papers that have been issued.
Thank you very much for joining with us. While implementing the power by women parliamentarians, they face a lot of discriminations. How to overcome these discriminations?
Well, I'm happy to be in Bangladesh. Thank you for welcoming me. It's my first trip and it's just beautiful. I haven't got to see much because I'm working, but the work that we're doing, especially with the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians, is precisely intended to support women going into politics, women parliamentarians. Like you said, they suffer discrimination. We women suffer discrimination everywhere and in every sector. And as often lots of people come to politics after they've done other work, so we're coming with that too. And how we get past that is we have to educate people. There is no way around that. We have to keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, doing workshops, mentoring parliamentarians. And of course, we have to get the men involved. We have to bring in men as partners, in collaboration with women, to sensitize them, to educate them, to show them basically how helpful it will be for them. Because I don't think many men realize it. Men think that they're being threatened by women with power, whether it's political or economic power. But we are of the view that the stronger women are, the more supportive they can be of men, the more helpful to the men in their lives, and therefore the better able the men are to find success themselves. So we think that once men get to understand that, the discrimination will stop, because they'll begin to see women as allies, as friends, as help, as support for them in their own ambitions.
If you want to escape from this discrimination, at first you have to establish the gender equality. What's your opinion?
We have some work to do on that. I mean, we are more or less 50-50, but in numbers. But in terms of the opportunities we have, the access to resources, that needs to be evened out. So it's going to be a long road. It's going to take a while. But again, if we go back to education and conversation and people being willing to reach out and pull other people in and come into other people, that alone will make a big difference.
In this context, how to empower the women parliamentarians in these regions?
Again, it begins with education. It begins with talking with young people, talking to children, to very young children. I grew up in politics. My father was a politician, so I grew up knowing about politics, hearing politics, political science and political conversation all my life. I think if we do that, we set ourselves up for success in the long term. But for right now, Bangladesh is doing an excellent job. You have a prime minister, a speaker, and a leader of the opposition who are female. That's excellent. That doesn't happen in too many other places. So that already is women being models, being examples for other people. Now what Bangladesh gets to do is let people know about that. And the rest of the world too can take example from that. So if Bangladesh tells the world, we have this, it helps the others. So showing people role models, educating, getting into the schools, and again, getting the men involved. We can't do this without the men. So the men have to be involved in a 50-50 partnership. And Southeast Asia, like other areas, we have our cultural things that we have to work through, some of which will take a while because cultural things don't change very easily and very quickly. So again, it's involving religious community. It's involving the academic community. It's involving the business community too, because a lot of what happens with women has to do with economics, with money, with work. And as women earn their own money and are out in the workspace and begin to have more and more conversations at all levels with men, and as we get more and more educated, that will slowly, but it'll go away.
As a senior parliamentarians and popular speaker, what's your message for the next parliamentarians?
Yes, my experience is that, again, what helps most is talking, is engaging in conversation, in dialogue, but with an open mind. So often we come to conversations and we are certain about what we believe. And so it's difficult for us often to take the other person's perspective. My advice to them would be to always have an open mind, always meet the other person halfway. Look for what they might have to contribute and not just what you want them to do. And that will work both for the relationships between men and women and among women, between women themselves too, because it's the same thing, we believe something and we are firm in our conviction. But then there's another side to every story, and if you meet people and you understand why people do the things that they do, what drives them, what their life is like, it often makes it much, much, much easier to understand and then to build legislation and policies that can encompass all of that and be helpful and supportive to both parties, because ultimately that's what you want, for both parties to get some benefit from it.
At the last moment, I would like to know what's your expectations from the 63rd Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference 2017?
Well, for one thing, I want them to all go back proud and happy about Bangladesh's parliament, about the balance of power in Bangladeshi parliament, and find ways to institute that in their own parliament. I also want us to go back with a stronger will to work together. It's politics, so there's always friction, and sometimes it's worse than others. So what I would like is the people who have come here to have gleaned something, a piece here, a piece there, an idea there, an opinion there, a possibility there, and take it back home and add it into the work that they do, but also that we maintain connections with one another. I see lots of passing of business cards and so on, but you might know often when people go home, the business cards get tucked into an office somewhere, the drawer somewhere. I would like that when people leave here, they've built relationships. And your speaker and your prime minister have been in their openness and the conversations that we've had with them and the speeches they've made have encouraged that. So if people have been listening, they will go back with the message that it is possible. We know Bangladesh history, so it is possible to come out in a good place. It's possible to work together and come out in a good place. And if they take nothing else away, they take that, we'll be good.
Is this your first time visit in Bangladesh?
Yes.
How do you like the Bangladesh?
Man, I haven't had a chance to do much because we've been conference every day and we drive back and forth. But the food's lovely. The food is great, and the people I meet here as I work with, they're good. And I've known Dr. Chowdhury for about almost 3 years now, and we've always got along quite well. And she's always talked to me about Bangladesh when she comes to conferences and so on. So yeah, I would love to be able to come back just to visit, but it's a 3-day journey from my house. It takes a while, but yeah, one of these days I hope I'll come back. It is a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country, almost as beautiful as the Caribbean. It's tropical. It's pretty much the same, actually. Yeah, it's a beautiful country. Yes, you should be proud of it.
I wish you all the best and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for talking with me.